Hey everybody, before I get started, I just want to mention a couple of ways that you can engage with me on a more personal level. I have a few avenues set up and I keep focusing on one, and I figured, why don't I make a short little video talking about all of them real quick before we get into these episodes. So first thing, Patreon. There's a link in the episode description, in every episode description, to the Patreon, as well as a video on the feed called Major Announcement that has all the details of what each tier offers and how much they cost. I implore you to check that out. I offer a lot of cool shit for my patrons. Second thing, the Discord channel. There's also a Discord link in the episode description and in every episode description. I have multiple channels set up there for each show that I'm covering, and it's a great way to just engage with me. I have a channel set up for MMA talk as well. I'm a big MMA fan, so if you're an MMA fan, you can check that out as well. There's a link to the Discord in the episode description. And then lastly, the Facebook and Twitter. Social media. Follow me on there. I post news on there. When I say news, I mean like, hey, I'm stopping covering this show. Hey, I'm starting covering this show. Let me know what you think about this. I do live watches of things on Facebook where like I'll check in and say, I'm watching so-and-so show. And then I'll like live comment while I'm watching it. And that'll be cool if maybe you watch that show too and you want to watch along with me, or you're watching it later and you will see my thoughts, which are usually pretty entertaining because I'm usually pretty high when I'm writing them. So check out all those links in each episode description, and let's talk about this episode. Peace.
One mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, and today I'm here to talk about Season 3, Episode 10, the season and series finale of Hulu's and FX's Reservation Dogs, entitled Dig. I don't really think this video is going to be too long, guys. I don't feel like there's a whole lot to say here. I mean, I just want to, I guess, show love for not just this episode, but what I think that this show gifted to us. Like, this series finale, I mean, what a great run. I mean, this show didn't do anything flashy, no fancy special effects or, magnificent sweeping drone shots across a canyon, no gimmicks, no plot twists, no shot scares, none of that shit. This was a show about culture and community, and I've said so many times before, I'm grateful that the creators of this show opened up this community to us and allowed us a peek inside. In all honesty, we didn't deserve it. And these people would have been well within their rights to never give us this level of access. But they let us in and they entertained us, but they also educated us. We didn't deserve to learn about their culture and community. That they would have been well within their rights to keep these sorts of things close to the chest. And I know just from podcasts that I've listened to that there's a shit ton that they do precisely that. That you just won't know about if you're not one of them. But like, man, we didn't deserve this level of access. We didn't deserve these acting performances from these kids. And I shudder to call them kids. They're not kids. But these acting performances that they could bring you to tears from laughter, or they could bring you to tears from, sadness. And we didn't deserve these insanely endearing characters, like from top to bottom, like the main group, the main four, all the aunts and the uncles. Like I love them all. Big, my man Willie Knife, like everybody, man. Everybody's so amazing. These are such great characters. We didn't deserve this perfect finale. And just like the show itself, it didn't do anything splashy or special. It wasn't one of those episodes where it was like it's going really hard for any one thing. It just took advantage of all the work it had done to endear us to these people in this community. And it was probably one of the easiest episodes to make because you don't really need like a hook or something to get us to stick around or wow us. Just get all of these characters that we've spent this time with and that we love and that they're awesome to just hang out with and see them hanging out with each other. Just get them all together, let us hang with them, and it'll be perfect. And it was. And I don't know, man. It's such a fitting end. You talk about the series finales that kind of just feel like they don't live up to what the show once was. And it was perfect in how little it did, and just letting us just again, like I don't know, it sounds so basic and simple to say just letting us hang out with these people, but that's what it is. It's like letting us hang out with these people, and like I said, giving us this level of access to what they're like and what they're when I say what they're like I mean like what they're like as far as how they live, but then what they're like as a people culturally. And then like everyone here like, but everyone in the show is like so cool, and they're so fun, and I don't know, man, it's great. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about the episode a little bit. It takes place over the backdrop of Fixiko's funeral. The episode actually opens with Willie Jack informing Daniel's mother, Hokti, of this. You remember we met her in, I want to say it was like episode 9 of last season. One of the best episodes. I'll never forget Willie Jack's reaction when one of those spirits touched her. Oh, man. And I was so high in the garage watching that shit. I'm like, oh, my God, this is so fucking great. This episode. And in that same episode, we actually meet the hippie cowboy who is with Hope's spirit, who we know from the season 2 episode as well. And she says, like, her new snag buddy or something like that. I don't know, but we met that guy. He was... like in the waiting room with Willie Jack when she was waiting to go in. And he was saying the same shit that Hokti was saying. He was talking about drugs and all this kind of stuff, and he was talking about the prison system. It was like just one scene, and I don't know, it stood out to me because I'm like, this is a weird looking guy for this show. And then as soon as they showed him, I was the Leo DiCaprio movie. I'm like, yeah, I remember that guy. So that was fun. And to that point, I really liked some of the callbacks they had in this episode. Just kind of just like callbacks to random things like that, like that specific guy in the prison. My favorite one was actually one that I don't know. I want to say I don't want to assume you guys might have missed it. It could have been I had just let my attention down because I'm not gonna say I wasn't paying attention, and I only caught it on the subtitles. But when Bear is digging Fixiko's grave toward the end of the episode, well, that makes it sound like Bear was doing it by himself. But when he was taking his turn, you can hear Danny in the background asking Bear to find the grave stretcher, which is a callback to, I think it was season 2, episode 3, when Bear got that job roofing, and he was on the roof with Daniel's father, and the 2 other guys, and they were like, they were fucking with Bear, and they sent him on like a wild goose chase for a board stretcher or something like that. And it was finally once he talked to Danny that he was like, yeah, there's no such thing as that. So that was like a nice little callback to that episode, which was one of the best episodes of the whole series. So I like those callbacks to 2 of my like those, like if I ranked the episodes, both of those 2 episodes that were referenced in these 2 moments, those episodes, both of them will probably definitely be in the top 5. So that was kind of cool having episodes that I love that much referenced. But throughout the episode, we come to learn what a native funeral is like, which is a little bit different from what we learned about with Mabel in, I want to say, season 2, episode 4, another one that would be in my top 5 if I were to rank them all. But we learned the women, they're all in one location. They're cooking, fellowshipping, just hanging out, kind of like, you know, like the equivalent of black folks. We have a barbecue, just like, you know, chilling, talking shit, cooking food, having a good time. As during these scenes, we learned that Rita is actually going to be taking the job in Oklahoma City. You recall from earlier in the season, that was a situation that came where I think one was in Oklahoma City and the other was somewhere. It was in Arizona, I remember thinking. It was in like Phoenix or Scottsdale. Yeah, I think it was Phoenix, Scottsdale, something like that. And her concern was leaving Bear, and everyone was saying, Bear's grown, don't worry about it, you need to do what you need to do to enjoy your life. So then we find out that Rita has decided to make that decision and that she is leaving Bear. And interestingly enough, in this scene, we can see Alora kind of react to it kind of weird when she finds out Bear is staying. And that's because Laura plans on leaving as well. So, yeah, that from her perspective, it's like, oh shit, both of us are leaving Bear here. Can he handle this? And then the men's job is to dig and like kind of like set up and dig the grave that Fixiko is going to be put in. And then, of course, we're hit with several heartwarming scenes along the way that are kind of meant to convey the theme of this episode, which is, of course, it's mentioned several times, the theme of this episode and of the show as a whole, community. And so, Hope scene where she explains to Willie Jack with snacks, which is the perfect analogy for Willie J, how Fixiko is always going to be with them. That was a great scene. She even alludes, I think this was an allusion to the boarding schools again, saying how they were meant to take away their community, and when you break that, you break the individual. I thought that was a great scene. Everyone stopping by Fixiko's casket, I thought was nice. The different ways that different people expressed their respect for Fixiko. I love the brothers leaving the not just leaving a CD, but a signed CD, and then telling them not to sell it. It's like it was one of those things where it's like it wasn't meant for laughs, but it makes you smile. Those two have that. Those two have that ability. Like, there's a lot of times where I'll look at them and I'm like, these motherfuckers is kind of corny, but like, you can't help. It's everybody in the show. It's like you just can't help but like them. And Bear and Alora having their talk. That was another great scene where she tells him she's leaving. Man, your boy was struggling to keep it together on that scene, man. That was another great one. For what it's worth, when she originally said she wanted to talk to him, I thought she was going to be telling her about how her biological father was in training day. I thought that's where that was going, but nope, telling Bear about her leaving as well. Bear handles it with the maturity of someone who is able to be left alone. So that was nice to see as well. Right before the end of the funeral, we get kind of like this montage that kind of like lets us know, I want to say updates, it kind of like lets us know what path that everyone's going to be on. We see Rita leaving for Oklahoma City. I guess this, and then we also kind of get confirmation of what I think was kind of obvious for a while, but was a thing that I was like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? But I guess confirmation that Bear and Jackie are a thing. Cheese is still hanging out with Irene. I wonder about the actor who plays Cheese too, because they say that Cheese is Cheese says like, I'm the youngest one. I'm worried about you guys leaving me. And when I was doing my notes, I kept calling them kids. I'm like, how old are these people? So the actress that plays Alora is 30, way older than she looks, which is obviously a compliment. And then I got, I think, ages for Bear and Willie Jack, and I think they were 22 and 23 respectively, so still pretty young, but not, 16 or 17. And Cheese, the guy that plays Cheese does look like he probably is like 16 or 17. So, I don't know. But that's all we really get for Cheese as far as what he's going to... But that's what we knew Cheese was going to be doing anyway. That's what Cheese said he was going to do. He's not ready to leave. That's a perfectly fine and acceptable path for Cheese. We see that Alora is selling, I was going to say Mabel's house, but it's her house now. But she's got that house up for sale as she appears to be leaving for college. And then, of course, the moment that I've been waiting for all episode and for the past several episodes of this season, the final meeting, my favorite scene between Bear and my man, Willie Knife. William Knifeman, man, my favorite character on the show. Like, he's one of those people where... they don't have to do much to make you laugh. It's like just naturally how they are is humorous to you. That's how I feel about him. Like, just everything he said was funny. It's like the whole first however many sentences before it even gets kind of serious, where it was kind of like all jokes and laughs and shit. All of it works for me. I loved it all. But he says that ultimately he's there to tell Bear goodbye. It's very much I have nothing left to teach you kind of moment. And Bear says he's learned that he doesn't have to be a leader, and that he's proud to be part of an amazing community. And that's really what this is. That's what this episode boiled down to. That's what the season boiled down to. That's what the show boiled down to. It's a simple show about these people and their culture and their community. And I loved every minute of it. Like I said, I'm grateful that they let me in and let me see it. I hope to see every single one of these actors from this show on TV and film, whatever, for decades. It was a joy. I love those bitches. A couple of shout outs to two moments in particular I thought were great. I liked when the dude that was driving like the hearse or it might have been a hearse. I know there was a hearse. He might have been driving the limo, but whatever. He was smoking weed. He was driving it, and he said so like if he lives long enough, he'll see everybody in the community's dick. That was funny. And then man, I got looks. I laughed so hard when Big that zucchini is like, I brought this for the kitchen. Like, I don't even want to imitate how he said it, but the way he talks when he's flirting with Bev, oh my God, that shit is so funny, man. Oh God, and I loved it, man. I love the final shot too of the previous generation Res Dog kind of sitting there being satisfied with everything that they've done. Like, oh, we did a good job here. I thought that was great. I love the show. Let me know what you thought in the comments. There is no next time, so hopefully we'll see these people again, or hopefully FX will give us something similar that we can all get together and watch, and I'll talk about it. You can listen to me talk about it. So until then, whenever that day comes, if that day comes, peace.